I have a very, very simple explanation of what's happening. This world is nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts. Let me say this again. I don't think you heard me. Nuts, crazy, absolute lunacy. Whoops. Mental illness is becoming our middle name. We're seeing mental illness in layers and flavors and colors and textures I never even thought imaginable. Truly, never thought imaginable. And we're seeing it in this election. Let me start off with this first. We're going to wade into this because I think I say this and it may not hit you right, or you may not understand it, or you may think I'm just kind of, I don't know, overreacting, or just being, I'm just being colloquial. No, we are living in a world of absolute insanity. Insanity is given all kinds of names and acceptance. And people who heretofore have never done anything creative, anything interesting, now said, wait a minute, this is almost like a performance art. I can act crazy and say whatever I want. And Kamala Harris is the patron saint of lunacy. Absolute, utter lunacy, like I never thought possible. Never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Did you see the white guys, the white dudes, and the women? I mean, it is nuts. And Kamala Harris doesn't understand. You're going to scare people with this. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you everything. Everything. And President Trump, I've got news for you. I don't care what anybody says. You should have one job and one job only. Take whatever Kamala Harris is doing and just repeat it. Do the white dudes. Run that one. How about the women for Kamala? Run that one. These people are out of their minds. Not weird. Weird is quirky. Weird is kind of artistic. Weird is okay. These people are out of their tree. And this says it all. And I'm listening today. I swear to God, I'm listening to all this analysis, this crazy talk about, I swear I wanted to scream. I got to tell you, this today was, everything's upside down. Today, I took Mrs. L to the UN for an incredible, well, I'll have her explain it to you. But there are these agencies. There's a rapporteur, a new study that basically has everybody flipping out because they're saying, just as an aside, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. I'm just warning you. Get ready. There's a new finding, a new report that says that prostitution and sex work is nothing but violence against women. So they're going, they said, wait a minute, you can't do that. We're the UN. Then they had delegations from the Philippines and people from all over the world were there fighting this. You've got to hear this story. The suffering that people are going through. Oh, I'll tell you this. So anyway, so I've got to go from the west side all the way to the UN, which is on the East River, through Times Square, 42nd Street. So I got a lot of time in my hand. So I'm listening to some stuff. And by the way, you've got to hear the horror that is what's going on in this world. In any event. So as I'm there, I'm driving. I'm looking around, and it looks like first of all, everybody in New York is at least 100 pounds overweight. Everybody. With tattoos covering every square inch of their body, with legs running, short pants with their arse hanging out, where the friction from their legs rubbing against each other is going to start a small fire. I bet you we could heat a home from the friction of these tattooed tree trunks rubbing against the. I'm just thinking, and I'm getting looks anyway because of the Yugo, and it's a stretch. So I'm thinking, this is nuts. Where am I? All these people walking around with just, I mean, with like they just got out of bed with yoga pants and in any event. So as I'm listening, I put on my the transistor, so to speak, and I was listening to, and I like them a lot. I really do. I like this show called Breaking Point, right? Yeah, Breaking Point. And they were trying so hard to sound, and I'm saying this with all due respect, like adults. And they were adults, but they were trying so hard to explain. Well, right now, if you look at the early in the Rust Belt states, for those likely for the Rust Belt state in an African American woman, there's a tendency they will be looking for the moment. And I'm saying, as they would say, bruh, literally, you don't know what you're talking about. Look around you. This is Kamala Harris. She's out of her mind. What the hell are you talking about? You're countenancing. You're giving credence to this lunacy. This thing just started and you're taking polls of what? She hasn't said anything. She's out of her mind. And maybe because they're kind of younger, and they were raised with this stuff. It's like, do you understand when I played Cooper for you, that lunatic? Remember Cooper? I paid Cooper, the guy from I think this is in the White House. If I were Trump, I'm saying, forget this. Just run this. Forget the Lee Greenwood. Forget this. Hello, I'm Donald Trump. Watch this. This is who wants to run the country. She's out of her mind. And then they have the audacity to come back with weird. They don't even know what weird is. Let me tell you something. There was a movie. I came across this movie. I guess it came out last year. I didn't realize this. Ben Kingsley. It's called Jules or something. It's about an alien. And it was very interesting. And I was thinking, mark my words. You're going to see, hello, my name is, and my pronouns are, I don't have pronouns because I'm an alien. What? I'm an alien. I'm a cryptogender, non-binary. What about you? I'm an alien. No, seriously. No. I'm an alien. And if you don't refer to me as an alien, you're gonna be this is speciesization. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? How many of you think I'm kidding? How many of you think it's impossible that somebody's going to say, I'm an alien, and I want to be talked like I'm spoken to like I'm an alien? You understand what I'm saying? I'm an alien. Talk to me like I'm an alien. Call me by my alien name. I'm an alien. You think I'm kidding, right? You think, oh, come on, you've gone too far. Really? You think so? This place is a lunatic. This is nuts. So you can keep all your polls, and they're talking about it. Then they either say, well, Peter Thiel may be indicating he might be a little bit, kind of buyer's remorse with Vance. I said, excuse me, these people are crazy. What are you talking about? Who cares about Vance? I don't care if Emmanuel Lewis, if Trump loses against this lunatic, I don't know about, I'm not going to move to another country. I'm thinking about, dear God, what is happening here? Victoria says, what is the plan outside of echo chambers? Well, the plan, we just started. The plan, I tell you what the plan should be, Victoria. But the plan now seems to be a little bit the same stuff. We'll get to this in a moment. And the plan will be will be very, very apparent. Our good friend Gary Mercado says, these are the voters. This is Kamala's base. Be prepared for Venezuela 2.0 USA style if November doesn't go well. I do not believe one thing about anything reported as to Venezuela. Nothing. Unless I'm there and I know what's going on, I believe nothing. I'm not even, with all due respect, I'm not following it. I'm not reading about it. I have no, I'll worry about Venezuela with all due respect. Señor Mercado, un espejo para ti, señor. I am not worried about that. We're going to talk about this. Get ready. Kamala Harris, 1% of the primary vote, worst vice president approval rate. Wait, that doesn't matter. Let's jump into this. Now, I've got more stuff for you that I put together that has no order whatsoever. None. Absolutely no order. None. It's just insanity. Let's go to this. I don't even know what this is, but it's going to be good. So buckle up, buckaroos.
J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Yes.
This is America's border czar, and she's failed us. Under Harris, over 10 million illegally here.
Here you go.
250,000 Americans dead from fentanyl. Brutal migrant crimes. And ISIS now here.
Do you have any plans to visit the border? You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Kamala Harris, failed, weak, dangerously liberal.
I love this. I love this. Did anybody see that weird? I saw a little bit of it. Laura Ingraham with Trump. Did you see that? She like sat like there we go. Buddha. I talked about you, brother Buddha. I apologized to you this morning because I thought it was a very rude the other day. I said to you, you said, come on, let's have faith. And I said, oh, the hell with the faith. We got to have plans. And that was rude of me, and I apologize. I hope you heard that. I was trying to think, who the hell? Buddha. I was very wrong because I start off in the morning and I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. It's like I'm drunk on facts. But did you see Laura Ingraham? That was so weird the way she's sitting. It's like a mile away from Trump. What is this, COVID day? What is it? I mean, don't sit in his lap, but did you see that? And what did you think about the Paris Olympics? Would you shut up about the Paris Olympics? Listen, here's one. What's that guy's name? Gad or? Josh Gad. We saw him in the Book of Mormon. It's very good. He was one of the white dudes. Listen, first of all, this guy is an actor. I'm going to show you this zoom. Check out the head. Don't you love when people do it? Oh, yeah. Don't you love when they do it's a zoom and there's like they've got this much head, or their head is like, it's like Kilroy. It's like, you're an actor. Don't you know about blocking the shot? Okay. Listen to this. This is a guy who was one of the, I don't know what the purpose of this was, but just dig this, okay?
Also, quick observation.
Oh, here he is. Now, right away. Check out right off the bat. You see in the top right, this is the Harris. Let me see if I can move this. Let me move this banner, move this brand, so we can read what this says. Let me see what this, okay, it says, I don't know what this means. Something for Harris. I put my brand up there. 2.9 million. If you believe any of this, do you believe this? Do you? I don't believe anything. Anyway, this is the big actor, and he's lending, he's weighing in to lend his brilliance. Because when you hear this scintillating laser-like logic, you're going to say right away, yes, I want to join you, Madam Vice President, okay? Listen to this jadrul.
They have Kid Rock, Kevin Sorbo, and a dolphin aficionado. And we have the Hulk, Samwise Gamgee, Luke Skywalker, and Mayor Pete just on this Zoom.
Mayor Pete. Is that Pete Booty Giggity Giggity? He doesn't even know this. It's like, don't bring up Pete. Why? Because Pete's crazy. He doesn't realize it. Look at this guy. He's one of the ones that you from high school who thought he was the cool kid. He's so laid back in this. He says, Anyway, I don't want to over explain.
That's pretty damn cool.
Cool.
I'm a white dude.
Really?
That much you can probably tell by now. But I also happen to be a father of two girls. I
Uh-huh.
have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And
Imagine those values.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016.
I sure do.
I stood over my kid's
Elation.
bed and I wept.
You did not.
I
You
wept
didn't
because
weep.
I felt like I let them down. I wept because
The only reason he was weeping was he found out he was out of cracklins or so, pork rinds or something. Look at this guy. He walked in and wept over his daughter's bed. Do you believe that? No, it's called a lie. Why are you lying? Because, well,
they had the chance and we had the chance to have a female president for.
now what difference does that make? What difference does that make? Again, isn't this identitarian? Well, what am I saying? Listen to the logic. He's pulling me in, right?
The first time in our lives and in the history of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, we put a man in office who not only disdains women.
Now, if there's one thing about Donald Trump, I think I can say this. I don't think he has disdain for women. I'll just leave it at that. Sometimes it might be the opposite, which might borderline, some might say, on satirizes. I don't know.
But whose own wife can't look him in the eye.
And by the way, with all due respect, I don't know you, my friend, but if I had to say, now let's see, who understands women better, you or Donald Trump? Huh. Let me see. Just give me a minute. I'm sure this guy has had a lot of experience. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But anyway.
Whose own daughters seem to want nothing to associate him, to be associated with him.
Where'd you get that from? You see what I'm saying? This is, they think they are, this. This is the best. They went on and said, can you help us out? You're a big name. Sure. What can I say? Just go out and just be yourself. Spew this white guy stuff and make up stuff about. Tiffany's there all the time. Ivanka, thank God, between you and me, Ivanka was there. I don't understand. I don't understand. Say what you want about that family. Say what you want. The only ones who I think have disdain, or maybe have disdain for women or daughters, might be Hunter, or at least people who aren't hookers that he pays for. Deb Kemp, greetings and smiles. Thank you, Deb. We appreciate that one. And let's hear more from Kamala, shall we?
Attorney General, I learned that the.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now I'm going to try to do this in a very nice way, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm sorry. I'm setting things up far too much, so please forgive me. You're going to be seeing Kamala's talking to a person regarding prisoners, people being demanding and receiving surgical transformation, general reassignment, or whatever that you want to call it. Okay. Now, just get ready. I'm just going to just please get ready. You're about to hear the individual Kamala's talking to, and imagine the reaction to this all over the country, especially from those people who are undecided. Okay.
California Department of Corrections, which was a client of mine. I didn't get to choose my clients.
Right. A client of the Attorney General.
A client of the Attorney.
See what I mean? I'm not saying anything. See what I mean? Okay. See what I mean? Imagine Duluth, Bayonne, Wilmington.
Right. A client of the Attorney General.
A client of the Attorney General, right. Of the Office of Attorney General, that they were standing in the way of surgery,
For prisoners.
For prisoners. And there was a specific case. And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care.
Now, medical care or surgery, do you want to put the state to have them on the hook for perhaps medical malpractice, for basically an orchiectomy is called, which is another way for castration, orchiectomy, hysterectomy, penectomy, mastectomies, genital reconstruction, genital removal, ablation? You want a prison, and by the way, good luck if you need open heart surgery, stents, bypass, forget that. Plastic surgery, dermabrasion, ACL, rotator cuff, screw you. You ain't going to get that. But this, and I told you the other question I asked.
That they desired and need. And I believe it was not only, I know it was historic in California, but I believe actually it may have been one of the first, if not the first in the country, where I pushed for that policy in a Department of Corrections.
And she's proud of that. Now, let me just say something to you, and I say this with all due respect to all these people who talk about, well, the Rust Belt, the exit, fellows are polling at 1%. I think the African, the Latino, excuse me, this is crazy talk. You want prisons to become the one people. Do you think it's possible for people who all of a sudden are going to find themselves say, you know what? I can either have this done, which is expensive, or who knows, maybe at that time it'll be paid for, or I can get arrested, I don't know, get a felony under my belt and go and have this thing done. And if something goes wrong, what if some inmate says, I was talked into this? I was talked into this. Lawsuits? You want people in San Quentin to have a division where they're going to be doing intake for this? This is insane. Now, I don't know who the woman that Kamala is talking to, but let me just ask you something. Let me just say something. President, please. And all this stuff about J.D. Vance is weird. You play that. Imagine this, dinner time. Hello, I'm President Donald Trump. This dingbat, it was proud of turning prisons, listen to me, into transgender sexual factories where gender reassignment and castration and follow-ups. Do you know the follow-up? Do you know, I hate to say it, the science is not exactly what you think. This is insane. Kamala Harris, insane. Black America, what do you think about that? Go to a room of black folks, black women. How many here have sugar diabetes? We say. How many have hypertension? How many of you had your own problems with, let's say, hip replacements or knees? None of that would have been done in a hospital. But gender reassignment? Does that make sense to you? That's it. That's it. Now, let's also talk about this insanity. Here's a good friend of ours. His name is Exhorter, super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Chris Wray today, the FBI director, said, well, we're not really sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet. Might have been a shard of glass, perhaps. Don't really know. Maybe a shard of glass. Don't know. I'm not sure. Could be. Hard to say. I don't know about this. Actually said this. Made it sound kind of crazy, like crazy talk. What do you mean? Glass. Bullet. No, it was a Might have been, I don't know, something from a teleprompter. I don't know. Could be. Not even sure. Not even sure. Well, listen to this.
The deputy director of the FBI, is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
Is there any doubt in your mind or in the collective mind of the FBI that President Trump
Good.
was shot in the ear by a bullet
Good. Tell him.
fired by the assassin crooks?
Senator, there is absolutely no doubt in the FBI's mind
It
whether former President Trump
Don't interrupt.
was hit with a bullet and wounded in the ear. No doubt, there never has been.
Hear that, Ray?
I've been part of this investigation since the very beginning, and that has never been raised.
You're sure?
Yes.
Listen to this.
It wasn't a space laser.
No, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It wasn't a murder hornet.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't Sasquatch.
No, Senator.
It was a bullet
It was a bullet, Senator. 100%.
fired by crooks
Yes, sir.
that hit President Trump in the ear and almost killed him.
100%, Senator.
Okay, glad we cleared that up.
Oh, well, good for you, John. And you didn't talk about your coon dog, Jerry. Don't you love that? Don't you just love that? Well, go ahead. Joy Reid. By the way, nice dude. What do you call that? In any event. What do you think about that? Is he wrong? And that fellow, by the way, had to completely go against the word of the director of the FBI. Vito says, is surgical mutilation in an effort to enable a mental illness considered a cure or care? Do you really care for them? Well, you realize they're going to say to you that this is not a mental illness. This is not a mental illness. This is not a mental illness. They're going to say that. Far be it from me to discuss this. But you know what's funny? I was thinking about this. You know that song Johnny Cash, or Jerry Cash, as I call him. Johnny Cash did. Rick Rubin, that great, when he did 9 Inch Nails, he goes, I cut myself today just to feel whatever it was. I cut my, cutting, self-mutilation. What's the difference? One could argue, just saying. Born to Raise Hogs says dental care in our jails or prisoners is just living with it or pulling the tooth. Isn't that something? Lou Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, says, you think there will be an election this year? I do. Indeed, I do, sir. Lou, God bless you, Lou. Lou Lewis, Tommy Thompson, Jack Jackson. Nathan Shields says they are trying to replace us. Don't say the replacement theory. That's racist. Just say Project 2025. Did you see that where they bounce a guy from the Heritage? What's wrong with the 2025? Okay, it's gone. Now what do you do? What about Agenda 21? Nobody talks about that one. Kamala Harris, primary authors of School to Prison Pipeline. Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed. Isn't this fantastic, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about some other issues, shall we? Some other aspects, some other fascinating pieces. This is something which I wanted to bring to your attention. And I think I know what this is, but I'm not sure. But it was good. Let's watch it, shall we? We'll watch it together.
Our country was on fire.
Oh, this is wonderful. Let me start from the beginning. It never starts exactly the other way. This just says it all. This one just says it all.
The summer of 2020 brought America to the brink of collapse. Our country was on fire. Violent anarchy consumed our cities. A poisonous anti-American ideology laid siege to our institutions, and Kamala Harris cheered it on. In Minneapolis, the epicenter of the violent revolution, Kamala helped fundraise for the Minnesota Freedom Fund, a far-left activist group dedicated to breaking criminals out of jail. With Kamala's help, the Freedom Fund raised more than $41 million in 2020 alone. It used that money to post bail for rapists, murderers, and other violent criminals.
Willie Horton.
Many of whom
You know what they're going to
used
say.
their freedom to commit more violent crimes. The Freedom Fund used its cash to pay the $350,000 bail for Christopher Boswell, a twice-convicted rapist who was in jail at the time for beating 2 other women. 8 months later, Boswell was back in jail for strangling another woman and threatening to shoot her in the face. Sean Michael Tillman was in jail for sex crimes. Just a few months after he was freed by the Freedom Fund, he shot and killed a man on a light rail platform. George Howard was in jail for domestic assault. 18 days after he was freed by the Freedom Fund, he shot and killed a man in a fit of road rage. Gregory Jones was in jail for attempting to rape a woman in a bar bathroom. Just 3 days after the Freedom Fund posted his $40,000 bail, he was arrested again for masturbating in front of children at a school. There are many, many more stories like this, but Kamala Harris doesn't care.
That's right.
In fact, she's still actively raising money for the Freedom Fund today. Does America really want someone like that in the White House?
Now, let me ask you something. Now, somebody's going to ask the question. What do you think about that? Mr. President, talk about that. Talk about that. Let me talk about it. Bradley Opland says she just hit on her YouTube. You should subscribe. Okay. She just hit on her YouTube. Okay. We'll do that. Thank you for that. So this is my thing. I love all this. I love all of this talk about, well, JD Vance may not pull, maybe. And I'm no big JD Vance fan. I'm really not. Mrs. L and I were talking. I think she's 100% correct. Trump should have gone with a woman, but it doesn't matter. But I would say before we get to the JD Vance thing, this woman is crazy. No, you don't understand. I'm pleading with you. Ladies and gentlemen, fine. I feel so bad. Then don't vote. Don't vote for me. Just don't vote. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. This woman can get nowhere near the White House. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. When I heard today these people talking about stuff, I think to myself, oh my God. And I thought, what would Christos Stavru think? Wait a minute. MAGA, my friend Johnny says hello, he asked. Why do the elites want to destroy the white male and the nuclear family? That is a great question, because white males and nuclear family apparently posed some type of threat. Some threat, something that I don't know. It is a part of this forced kind of synchronized lunacy. Now listen to this one. I got to tell you this. This is another one. They get these people and they don't know they're weird. You talk about JD Vance. This is the best part. They actually said this. I told you it was a weirdest thing. I told you one time, I never really saw it before. I never really saw it. Mark Wilson saw it. Kamala Harris's Democratic Party is attempting to replace our republic, and they are telling us, oh, that's you are correct about that. Susan C. says, love you, Lionel. It's a clown show that isn't funny. You're right. I like your thumbnail. It's cool. We have a coolrophobia. I went to something one time. I'll never forget this. I've never been in a room where I saw these people who started off with, hi, how are you? I'm non-binary. I'm binary. I'm indigenous binary. I'm non-sequestered, non sequitur binary. I'm trinary. I'm trinary aboriginal. I'm unicellular. I'm paramecial. I am subliminal. I am two-spirit. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a joke? I swear to you. I'm not just saying this. I thought, they're joking with me. Steven says, I've gone from laughter to anxiety. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know the feeling. But you understand this. I'm sitting up thinking, what the is this all about? I'm two-tiered. Yes, I'm bifurcated. I'm a self-referential. I'm sexually inapposite. I am crypto-gendered. And I swear to you, I swear, she can tell me. I saw this. I thought they did this at the Cafe Wow, like at the Beats in the 50s. They did this. I said, what the hell are they doing? What is this? This is approbation, approval. Not, yeah, you go, girl, go, bro. Literally. I thought, I cannot believe this. I expected to hear Mingus in the background, like, dum, 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 dum. My name is Blue. I'm transgender. I'm quasi-intersectional. Oh, intersectional. No, I don't even know that. I think they just make it up. It's like, would you just tell me how you're feeling? Enough about, but see, it's all like, no, this is okay. It's about me. You think you're up? I'm worse. Oh no, I'm worse. I'm bipolar. I'm tripolar. I'm a polar bear. I'm an ursine polar bear. I'm a bear. I'm ursine. I go into hibernation. And I belong in a zoo. Yeah, that's it. And I'm two-spirit. Ramona says the nuclear family is the first primary political unit. That's why they don't want it. Ramona, I wish you remember this. You ready for this? They are in the minority. America doesn't think this. America doesn't know these lunatics are running. As I told you, as I'm carrying across town, dodging cars, I'm listening to this insanity from people. I'm serious. I'm listening to this. And they're talking about the Rust Belt polls. It's like, would you stop it? This woman's crazy. And she hasn't said anything yet. That's the best part. They're going to keep her from saying anything. Who was that one today? Who was the one in Georgia? The Stallion or Megan the Stallion or Megan the Stallion? Why? Because she always brings black folks in, gives them a free concert to try to placate them. This should be President Trump. If you lose this one, Joe Biden was never crazy. It might have been, out of his mind. He was never crazy. No way. No way. Joe Biden kind of said, oh, it's nice. Who's the guy with the fingernail? What's his name? Cooper? Okay, Cooper. Oh, yeah. What the hell is this? I don't know. And, of course, there's Jill, because Jill just loves being there. Jill says, hey, Jill, you want to meet the guy who thinks he's a polar bear? Okay. Identify as a woodchuck. I was just thinking about that, Billy. Kayfabe, babe. By the way, if you ever need somebody to come in and play a demented Santa, this is your guy right here. Love you, man. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. This is this. Remember the time we were driving on the sidewalk outside the garden? Not proud of it. Not proud of it. So anyway, this is this insanity. This is why the words gotta go. Hey, Democrats, you don't understand this. No, stop. This woman's nuts. Okay, so listen to this fella and tell me, would you ever really want to reach out and say, you know what? This is a guy I want as my neighbor. I want to have a beer with this guy. I want to meet. This is my kind of guy. This is really good. And he's come forward to join among the other white dudes or whatever to say we're a part of the Kamala train. Listen to this guy.
The myths around America that we grew up with, that we as men are expected to be protectors and providers.
Excuse me, is that a man bun you got there? I'm just curious there, Toby. What's your name? Moon unit? Star child? Moon dog? Is that a man bun you got there? Just wanna. Everybody call you Poindexter. Dweezil? No, that's Zappa's boy. Let's take it from the top again. He's winning me over. I want to join that Kamala because this young man, he knows what he's doing.
And that happens at the same time as the myths around America that we grew up with.
Sure.
That we as men are expected to be protectors and providers.
Well, yeah. You don't think that?
Are going out into economy that doesn't really allow for that, especially for working class folks.
Why do you think that
And
is?
sort of like compounding on that, masculinity as a trope has been co-opted by the MAGA right into some.
Now, hang on a minute. Now, hang on a minute. Now, hang on a minute. Did you hear what he said? Masculinity as a trope has been co-opted by the MAGA. What the fuck are you talking about, Sparky? First of all, with all due respect, what the hell do you know about this? Masculinity is being co-opted as a trope. President Trump, yeah. Could I ask you a question? Would you put that thing down a minute? You too, JD. Are you co-opting my masculinity as a trope? I don't know what the hell a trope is. Rope a dope, sing a rope, play a jump rope, maybe trope. Trope, is that a name for a little person? I have no idea. What's this man talking about?
Something that feeds into and exacerbates the loneliness epidemic.
What? Wait a minute. What? The loneliness? I know why you're lonely. And it has nothing to do with a trope, if you know what I mean.
As well as the mental health crisis that many face that end up leading to really destructive behaviors.
What are you talking about? I just think you're crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know you. I just think you're crazy.
We aren't the only ones that are hurt by these things. Black and brown people, LGBTQIA plus people.
LGBTQIA, black, brown, we're all upset by the MAGA masculinity tropes. Them tropes are driving us crazy. What the hell are you talking about?
People, especially trans women and indigenous people.
Trans women, indigenous tropes. He didn't mention the BIPOC or Mr. Spock or anything else with that. You got the BIPOCs, the bifusials, the intransigent, the co-transigent, the obsequious, and don't forget the bifusials.
People, and all sorts of other folks in our society who've been historically and often still today are marginalized. And
what? I know why you're marginalized. And by the way, if President Trump is president, I hope you specifically are marginalized in a home.
Hurt, demonized, and marginalized even further.
Would you shut up? If that was my boy, I'd say, come here, Toby. I know you're an adult, but I'm gonna show you something. And I'm against corporal punishment. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna get rid of that trope. I'm gonna get rid of that trope. You ain't gonna like this, Toby. Vito says in the debate, Trump needs to let her talk. Yes, she'll go into how tomorrow is yesterday, and we all need to value the need for tomorrows as we value today. Yes, I have a newsletter. I can't believe you said that. I'm working on the latest newsletter, and this is the one. This is at the very top. She said the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is a great significance to the passage of time. And you're talking about the Rust Belt. What? This woman is out of her mind. This isn't just, this is, you know what's so bad about this? It's so funny and everything, and it's so obvious. It's scary. It's like, we can't lose this, right? Do you ever feel like that? No, tell me, just tell me this will not, this is like the law of gravity or something. Things are going to float up. There's some certain universal tropes, if you will, and that this particular trope is going to apply. Some of you had asked before, how do you get the newsletter? Here is the link. Just go to this right away. Sign up for it. I put all my tropes together. Have you ever met people like this before? Have you? Seriously, I get sick. I want to just say, would you shut up? What is this? Who are you? Do you know? Get a mirror. Somebody get me a mirror. Listen to what you're talking about. Masculinity and because of the economy. Yeah. And why do you think that is? The Biden plan? I got to calm down because I'm going to lose my mind. Check this one out. This one's real good.
President Biden always said that he wants you to be the last person in the room, particularly for big decisions. He just made a really big decision Afghanistan.
Yes.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
And you feel comfortable?
I do.
The Taliban are now in complete control of Afghanistan.
On the issue of Afghanistan, we have seen a successful drawdown of the embassy.
You could see the images of the helicopters from both Saigon, 1975 to Kabul.
It's really something to see. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. There must be an immediate ceasefire.
Can she go toe-to-toe with Xi Jinping, with Vladimir Putin, with Kim Jong-un, with the Ayatollah if needed? That's what this election is all about.
Democrats, we are delivering big time.
Doesn't that get you? Therese Pollard says, "You're killing me." Ha ha ha. It is, let us not, retreat to depression. But I've never seen anything like this. Joe Biden was not crazy. Do you understand this? She's crazy. Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely. Wouldn't that be good? Hello. This is Uncle Lenny. She's crazy. Paid for by. That's it. Crazy. This started with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said that this isn't about left or right, whatever. It's about normal and crazy. These people are absolutely by the way. Doesn't this get you? So when I was listening today to these, and I know they meant well, I know they meant well. Maybe because they were, who knows, maybe they were these younger people. They were raised in this. They're used to this. Maybe if you were, in a house of crazy people, you're just used to it. You say, well, this one's bipolar and this one, this and that's blah, 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 this, blah, blah. And that's all you know. So I just want you to understand something. Mr. President, do me a favor and understand something. Stop going on Laura Ingraham. What is the purpose of that? It's just to amuse people who are going to vote for you anyway. The cheapest thing in the world you can do is just start off at your desk at Mar-a-Lago, camera right here, and speak like this. My fellow American, you want to see something? Check this. And then play it, and they go, huh? Huh? And that's it. Bob S. says, Lionel, I smell a trope. My friend Jerry Wexler used to always talk about tropisms. He would go the extra mile and fill in the blanks with his tropisms. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. We are in the middle of something that is so, and please let us not forget how we are enjoying this. It's nuts. It is so crazy. And she hasn't spoken. And they're talking about, well, I feel today. I got to tell you this, and I mean this, because I like youngins. You know what I mean? It's me, Uncle Lenny. I'm sorry, I'm a bit jaded. Okay, I understand it, and I know they're doing a damn good job and trying to do the best job that they possibly can. And they want to sound like very big. How do I say this? They want to sound like really important political analysts and the like. And I understand it. And I dig that. I really dig that. But I played for you the great Tony Schwartz, Daisy commercial, which said it perfectly. So as I'm listening to this, they were saying, well, as you realize, during the Biden period, there were a lot of Democrats who were feeling rather down. And, when Kamala came, there was maybe it was a sugar high. They're saying that a lot. Or it's the honeymoon period. And it's the sugar high. Yeah, that's it. It's a sugar high. Wonderful. Ramona says, you gave me a great laugh. I'm telling you, I want to go on and scream. and Ramona, and I'm listening to this, and they're saying, well, you know, we think that maybe, you know, Trump didn't get a bump after, you know, after there was the assassination attempt and the DNC, he didn't get a bump and say, excuse me, stop for a second. Let's assume, and I want to do this, I want to sit there and say, let's assume, and if I'm on with Crystal Ball, who seems like a nice gal, nice, and Sagar, a nice guy and gal, they're nice. She says like every 5 seconds. But I want to say, listen, Crystal, hon, let me ask you a question. This is Uncle Lenny talking now. Now, Crystal, let's assume, let's play thought experiment, okay? Let's say Charles Manson was running, okay? The Charlie Manson, you know, Manson family, Kate LaBianca. Remember that crazy Charlie? Yeah. Now, let's imagine he was running, okay? What would be the first thing you would say as a political analyst? Would you say, well, he might get a bump after the convention? Or would you say, that man is crazy? Stan Littman said, Obama, a parade balloon. Harris, a party balloon. Whoa. How do you do it, Littman? How do you do it? It's a gift. It's a trope. It's like literally a gift, bro. Literally, bro. Literally. In any event. Okay. So you would say, excuse me, hi. Let me remind you something. Charles Manson, he's running against Charles Manson, yeah. The convicted killer, yeah. You do know who Charles Manson is, yeah, right, okay. And do you find people ever listen to this woman? She's a babbling lunatic. They're keeping her away. They're talking about the bros, and she's having a Megan Thee Stallion, but nobody's saying, hey, come here, let's talk to you. Oh, no, I'm not. I got to live all this down, because we have volumes of this. And you know what's interesting? They never thought in the meantime, to see if they could do anything as far as, how do I say this? Preparing her. Yeah, that's it. Preparing her. They didn't do anything in preparing her for this in the future. None of these geniuses ever said, listen, we don't have much of a bench here. Do we really want Kamala Harris? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Who thought of this? You know, come to think of it, I don't know. She didn't pull 2%. She pulled a lot of things, but not 2%. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Nobody likes her. She has a 95% turnover. She doesn't say anything. Who was the genius who okayed this? No, seriously. So who okayed this? Who okayed her? Who said, let's have her on the ticket? She's good. She'll appeal to the what? What? I'd like to go to the black community. You want to go to the hood? We can go to suburban. I just want to go to the black community. I want to go, like Fannie Willis said, I want to go to the black churches. That's what I want to do. And I want to say, let me ask you a question. What do you find folks think about the negative or the inverted tropes of masculinity and how this comports and concatenates with BIPOC, Two-Spirit, LGBTQIA, and indigenous ideological points of reference? And you will see this. Anybody? You don't know what that means, did you? No. Well, that's what Kamala Harris is saying. Johnny Mazza passes Lionel. Would you ever plan on going to France? What does that mean? Like get out of here? Hey, did you ever think about going to France? Yeah, go to France. To answer your question honestly, Mrs. L and I've never been. And I would like to go to, if I could, I would like to see how regular people live. I don't know enough about the country to know this, like Bergen, this versus whatever, wherever. But Paris now? I don't know. I don't like what I'm seeing. If I had my druthers, you know what druthers are, right? That's from the contraction of the word I'd rather. It's druther. Anyway, if I had my druthers, I would travel this country in a beautiful coach, a very, very exquisite coach in which I could drive and have a driver so I could see from sea to shining sea. I'm dead serious about that. I am dead serious. Stan Littman says Hillary gets State Department back under Harris. Could be. Though I would not be surprised. Again, we're jumping a little bit too far there, but a lot of folks are going to say, we might, I don't know if I want to be necessarily a part of this. Because let me explain something to you. We can line up everybody. And you can say, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I've hooked something up. It's an electric device which we have aimed at your pudenda. And if you lie, I will be hitting a switch and you will be getting the equivalent of the battery charge from a pair of jumper cables off a Ford Bronco, okay? Right at your goods in your inguinal area, if you answer this question incorrectly. So let me ask you this question. Is Kamala Harris your first and best choice? Anyone? Even Kamala would say, no. Okay. So she's not your first choice. No. Why is she here? Answer the question. Anybody? We don't know. That's the answer. We don't know. Second question. Why did it take June 27th for you to realize that Pops Biden was out of his mind? Why did you not understand that? What about senescence or senility do you not understand? You knew this, correct? Yes. Now, Kamala, did you know this too more than anybody else? You know what she would say? Absolutely not. Why? You know what her defense is? Because I don't go to the White House. I haven't seen this guy in, I don't know, years. I don't do anything. I'll go to a party. We got something on the way. I'll show up. But I don't know. He's not here. He's in Wilmington. He's in a root cellar. He's sedated. He watches Golden Girls during the day. I don't know. I don't see him. So to answer the question very truthfully, I don't know. I can't tell you. Well, who does know? Jill? Jill's under no duty to let people know. And the best one, Barack Obama. Barry, come here for a minute. Yeah. Did you know about this? And forget Michelle, you're not a part of this. Barry, let me ask you something. Joe just gave you the ultimate FU, didn't he? Because you didn't want Kamala. You wanted Mark Kelly. You wanted him. You didn't want him. You didn't want her. So what he did was he came right off the bat and said, and I endorse her. A little reluctantly. So you look like a fool. Okay? So you were supposedly, let me get this straight. You were the guy who was running the Democratic Party, theoretically. When you knew a long time ago, you could have switched him out, maybe moved in. He could have said anything. You could have said, look, he's got some growth on his whatever. And you know what? Nobody would have missed. And it would be like, good night. I will make the deal with you. We'll leave Biden, Hunter. You just leave. Get Marine One. Get the hell out of here. Bring her in. Bring Mark Kelly. Whatever you want. You could have done this then. Nobody would have been the wiser. But you didn't. You didn't do it. And now you've got this idiot. This woman who is an embarrassment. And even Doug is saying, honey, can we work on something? You can't keep saying this stuff. I had a list today of all of Kamala's favorite expressions. When you read them, you think it's a joke. So, Mr. President, dear Mr. President, my suggestion is go for the throat. You don't need all these rallies, sir. You don't. And it may be nice to go on, maybe because you like Fox News. I don't even think he likes Fox News. I don't even know why he does this. Try this 1 week. Just the next time. Or sit around in a room and have a special viewing. You ready for this? I'm going to say something to you, and you're going to think I'm kidding. But I'm going to tell you. Have a viewing at Mar-a-Lago. You want to have a group? Have JD Vance, popcorn for everybody, and run that white guys thing. And hear the laughing. And hear Kamala talk to somebody who says, and do you think this surgery? Yes, as a matter of fact, as this person's wearing, whatever it is, who looks like Aunt B, who's 6'4". Laugh at her. It's a joke. Laugh at her. Did you see this is it. Live from Mar-a-Lago. It's on whatever live. It's on Truth Social. Elon will run it. Can you imagine the best? Let me explain something. Being in a room, because you might get a kick out of this, and don't bring in people you like, but just a second thought. Forget the laughing. No need to laugh. Just have Trump look at it. I don't want you to worry about Vance. Nobody cares about Vance. It's like if you walk into a room and you got a nice suit on and a tie, but your fly's open, it doesn't matter. Your fly's open. With all that's going on right now, nobody's thinking about, but Vance. It's like, excuse me, you have a lunatic here who wants to destroy the country. Well, nobody's saying, I don't know, that Vance. I don't think that was a good move. These are people like folks on CNN or Breaking Point or The Rising. These are people who have to say, can we talk about the cat lady reference and the weird vote? That's inside. That's great. You talk about that. That's Washington talk. America doesn't care about that. Nobody's talking about this. The cat lady thing's already there. The question is this. Number one, Joe Biden, where is he? Number two, who's running the country? Number three, when are we going to debate Kamala? Do you know she actually had the cojones to say that Trump didn't want to debate her because he wanted to see, well, let's see who this would be good. Let's see who the candidate is. He goes, excuse me, I'm the candidate. Well, let's, a lot can happen. Let's see. You know what, Kamala? If you're the nominee, I am the nominee. Well, you might have some super delegates here who aren't too crazy about that. But if you're the delegate, if you're, we will have the debate, and then you and I are going to watch something, and we're all going to do it together when they have that first debate. I don't know when it is. The next thing is we're talking, and this is important. We're talking, my friends, as we speak, 98 days until the election. 98 days. We haven't talked about the end of August, the end of September, the end of October. Now, October the 26th. That's a different story. That's going to be, I'll be at the cutting room with you, and we've got that 10 days before the election. 10 days before. Still trying to work on how do I do that. There's the link, by the way. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that Doug Emhoff song. That's going to be tough, but we'll work on it. So all this is great. The cat lady stuff and Megan. No. August, September, October. This is it. A lot can change. They're feeling this sense of high. Isn't it great? She's a woman. You're going to laugh when I tell you this. Many people don't even know how bad she is. They have no earthly idea. Understand what I'm saying. They have no earthly idea how bad she is. This is a gift from God. And don't believe this stuff. They're throwing every lunatic. Nobody cares about that Gad. And I went in and looked over my daughters and I cried. You're a liar. You are a liar. You lie. And you're crazy and you're demented and you should be in an insane asylum. This is who they are. And they're so demented, they don't recognize that somebody should have told them, keep these losers home. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay? All right. So relax. Feel good. Feel good. Now, this is Mrs. L's YouTube channel, dear friends, and you have been terrific. I want you to follow this right now at Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors on YouTube and Lynn's Warriors on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call that thing. And it's absolutely it. But I want you to understand something. Do not lose your sense of humor. Do not lose your bearing. Do not lose your focus. Do not lose your equanimity, your equipoise. Do not become freaked out over this. It was like, what, 10 days ago? I don't even know when this was. And don't be surprised. And I'm sorry to say this. Don't be surprised if one day you find out where there's some sad news. We're sad to report live from Rehoboth Beach that President Biden peacefully passed away, and we're not sure what the cause was. They're not going to find out. There were some other problems, and he was a great man, and we're going to be, and then get him out of the way. End of discussion. You know what America would do? Nothing. Some sick ghoul might say, she might get a couple of bumps in the point if we did that. I'll take care of that. You think this is beyond the realm of possibility? Joe Biden is a reminder to people about what he wasted people's time. And the question that should really, and ask all your friends, and sometimes you'll tell me, my sister-in-law said this. Ask them specifically. Who's running the show right now? If Kim Jong-un were to send some tactical nuclear warhead into South Korea, who would answer the phone at the White House? That theoretical 3:00 in the morning call. So anyway, Stan Lippman, Stan, you were fine. Johnny Mazza Spaz, we love you. Ramona Heath, ladies and gentlemen. Bob S., thank you. Therese Pollard, Vito, Billy Pierce, kayfabe. By the way, great professional wrestler in the late 40s. He was known for the thyroid clutch and the Wahito hold, which most people don't even know about. And good to see you, my friend. Stephen Lynch, thank you. Susan C., Mark Wilson, Christo Stavro, the Honeyman. We know him, we love him. Bradley Oplin, Soul 76 Can, Nathan Shield. I hope I'm saying this right. Lou Lewis, Born to Raise Hogs. Thank you so much. Exhorter, Deb Camp, everybody. Buddha TT boy. Gary Mercado, and of course, Victoria. She goes by the name Victoria, and that's it. All right, dear friends, remember, Mrs. L, Lynn's Warriors, and thank you. Hasta los huevos de nalgas. Have a wonderful and a great night. This is still the I'm going to say this one more time. She's crazy. She doesn't understand how crazy she is. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. And she's not smart. She doesn't understand that she's not saying anything. Think about what I'm saying. She doesn't understand. She's not saying anything. All right, dear friends, you've been so wonderful tonight. An hour and 10 minutes tonight. Thank you so much. Have a great and a glorious night. I appreciate you immensely, more than you could ever imagine. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, my friends, as we always say, don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Tete.